When a cyclone damages a water catchment in a remote location, the need for clean drinking water is at the top of emergency aid lists. Unfortunately, the most common response is to deliver thousands of plastic water bottles and send them to the communities in need. Based in Singapore, Wateroam makes a 4.6 kilo filtration system that fits inside a backpack and can be used to pump 200 liters of clean water per hour. Chong Tee, what was your inspiration for creating a company that's solving the clean drinking water challenge we face worldwide?
What we did was we went onto the ground and we talked to the locals over there. We talked to some of the NGOs, many of them which eventually became our partners, to really understand what is the crux of the issue. And what we realized is that there is a huge proportion of people living in rural areas who actually do not have access to clean drinking water. And when they drink untreated water, they get a lot of issues like chronic diarrhea, dysentery, and it really affects their health. And look at it this way, if you don't have clean water, you fall sick more often. When you're sick, you can't go to school, you become absent from school, and you're less productive at work. When you're less productive at work, you might, you bring in less income. And that brings people into this
it's a
poverty cycle.
domino.
It's a domino effect. And we see how important it is to make sure that everyone have access to clean drinking water. And it should be a universal access. Everyone should have access, and it's a human right for everyone.
Without power, you're able to clean water, and the filters actually last quite a long time as well. What was the innovation around the filter design?
So what we do is we look into these water filters and make sure that we are able to design a solution that allows us to pressurize the system with just a mechanical hand pumping motion. So the Roam Filter Plus, which is one of our key invention, allows you to actually pump a simple filtration system. It pushes the dirty water through the membranes, and what comes out will be clean drinking water. We do so by really studying the different kinds of membranes that we could use, and we are able to have an ultrafiltration device that is able to operate with very low pressure, and is able to filter out bacteria and viruses very, very effectively.
Well, and one of the things I thought was fascinating is that the Roam filter also is very portable. And you can move this to a very rural area very cost effectively because it's literally a backpack-sized device. How did you get it to that small a size and still be able to supply that much water?
One of the key aspects that we did was to make sure that when we are designing the system, we made sure everything is done in a very compact manner. So from the filtration membranes to the various chambers that we use to encap the water filter, we make sure that the material we use are very effective, are very space and size effective, so that we are able to generate a huge production capacity in a very small volume. We make sure that we incorporate maintenance functions so that people can actually use the system for a prolonged period of time.
So it doesn't require much technical expertise to replace the filter or use the system?
Exactly. A child can run the system, and you do not need to be an expert to run the system and to operate it.
The NGOs that you're working with, are they funding the capital cost for the devices, or is it governments, or is it a combination?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. So we have some of our partners who are NGOs that are they have wash budgets. So what they do is they will use their budget to select technologies that could improve the life and livelihoods of the people on the ground. There are also some auxiliary government bodies that we work with. For example, the water authorities, or those who are taking care of the welfare of the people living in the rural areas. So we work very closely with them to make sure that we can finance the systems to provide these water filters for them.
And how is Wateroam helping with natural disasters and emergency response scenarios?
During a disaster, one of the few things that happens is that pipelines are usually broken, right? You talk about flood, about an earthquake, or even a protracted human conflict where, for example, in the case of Myanmar, in Ukraine, where we're talking about mortars raining in some of the cities and the villages, the basic infrastructure is broken, which is why it is essential to make sure that we are able to still provide clean water in these areas. So what our solutions do, the Roam Filter Plus, what it does is that it's able to take surface water sources like rainwater, river water, lakes, well water, put it through the system, and what comes out will be clean and drinkable. And the fact that it can operate without needing electricity makes it a highly versatile and adaptable system in these situations.